And just be a bit of a sad note here is the passing of Shawn Rhoden. I know it's been a while, but it's sad to see someone taken in their prime and
exactly, and has a daughter and family and friends. And if I said the sad thing of all of that is too, is like the way I mentioned it, the way the IFBB treated him was so sad, because to me, you're innocent to proven guilty. And these people that said they were his friends, or the ones that say, oh, I've known Shawn for years and years and years, but yet turned their back on him, they'd be like, Sam, I've known you. And if someone come to me and said, oh, did you hear Sam's accused of rape? I'd be like, I don't believe it. Now, I'm not saying she's lying. I just say, the Sam I know would not do that. So you've got to prove to me that he did. And until that point, I'm not going to believe it, so I'd treat you exactly the same. I wouldn't say, hey, Sam, you couldn't come to work if I owned the business, because this is an accusation. There's nothing set in stone. Yes, okay, if you found out guilty later on, fuck, I'd be in shock when they say, look, I've got to let you go and shit. But you just don't turn your back on people over accusations, because so many people's lives have been ruined and destroyed over accusations. Yes, some can turn out to be true, but like I said, I didn't know Shawn super well, but I knew him as in to say hello to and stuff like that. And he's, like I said, I don't see him doing it at all. And from the people I know who knew him really well, if they tell me Shawn would never do that or be like that, I take their word for it. And that's why the IFBB should never have turned their back on him, because we're in a sport where people do all types of things, illegal drug use and stuff with steroids and stuff. So bodybuilding's not a mainstream sport. You had Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player. We've had other top pro athletes in other sports being accused of stuff but still play. And these are sports that are like soccer or NFL. It's in mainstream fucking media.
Yeah.
If Shawn had an accusation he did to Mr. Olympia, no news network would have been like, oh my God, Shawn Rhoden, Mr. Olympia goes back to defend his title under accusations of rape. It wouldn't have been on any fucking news station, because bodybuilding's not that big a fucking news thing. So it's just the way. And then they turn around and put up all these condolences after they turn their back on him. I'm just like shaking my head thinking, you two-faced pricks. It's like...
And also there's levels of accusation as far as, you know, you could be found with someone bound and gagged in your place, but it hasn't gone to trial. Whereas these rape ones, where there's accusations made, and it happened with a football player over here, and he had to sit out for 2 years, and
then found out to be innocent.
And you know, like, it's these things that with consent are very, 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 very blurry.
I know. Would they try and here in Australia to change the consent law too, where it could be like she could agree to it, but then if you're having sex halfway through, if she changes her mind, then it's like...
Well, I think also too that they can't give consent when they're had too much to drink.
Yeah, but what if you're both drunk? Who raped who?
Well, yeah, I mean, look...
Say you're super drunk and she's super drunk and you have sex and none of you really gave consent, you just had sex. So if she goes, oh, he forced himself on me, he could be like, she forced herself on me. If you're both fucking super drunk, which way does it... It's like, but the thing is too, when it came to the different things too, you have people going to... It happens here. I'm not sure the whole story with Shawn, but here we see it all the time. These women go to a pro athlete's hotel or house at 2 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. for...
Yeah.
What are you going to that room for at that hour of the morning? And if you're married or whatever...
We'll have a cup of tea.
Exactly. It's like taking coffee. It's like... It's just... You know, if you're going for... You know, it's called a booty call. You know what you're going for. You're not just going to have a chat. You could chat on the phone. You could text on the phone. You're going there for something, and it seems like maybe she got caught out with the husband, so rather than look like a whore or whatever, he raped me and all this sort of stuff. So it's just... And it's been going on, 3 years, I think, and it's like, come on, drag it out. Yeah, okay, COVID can set things back, but if they had something super set in stone, you know, it's just sad. Like I said, the way so-called friends turned their back on him, he should have been competing from day one.
And I think too that there's not enough deterrent for women to against making false claims. Like if you make a false claim against someone that you're
and it's
being
found
raped,
and it's false, nothing happens to them
like,
half the time.
that should be almost the same as raping someone because
Yeah, because you've ruined their life. And how many times too? This is what I hate. Even here in Australia, when it comes to these footballers, when it happens to them, and that guy, what's his name, was found not guilty after 2 years of being dragged through the mud. He couldn't play. As soon as the woman makes the accusation, it gets reported on. So if I'm the girl and I say, Sam raped me, your name gets plastered all over the news.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's just an accusation, why can they plaster your name but not the girl's name? To me, it's like, if an accusation's made, no name should be mentioned.
Yeah.
If he's found guilty, okay, then you can say Sam raped such and such. But until that point, because you know what it's like these days, it gets into fucking media.
yeah,
You're tried by the media and people on social media. Oh, he did it, this and that. And then if you get off, oh, he just had a good lawyer. He beat the system. People still, even if you're found not guilty, in the back of people's minds, you went to get a job. Oh, yeah, I remember you. Did he or didn't he? Or, so
no,
that's fucking bullshit. They shouldn't release any name over an accusation. Hey, if you've got video footage from a camera somewhere and it shows you raping that person and being raped or beating somebody, if you've got actual evidence, okay, then say this is their name, accused of rape, because we can actually see it happening. But if it's just he said, she said, and there's no evidence, you've got to sort out who's telling the truth. No one's name should be printed or put out there in the media, because it's just not fair to the guy. Like I said, you can have vindictive girls out there. It's like that thing with, was it Jared Hayne, who's doing jail time now, and everyone said that he went to her place. Again, he went there at 2 a.m? Some early hour of the morning, the girl invites him over. He keeps the Uber waiting, remember? He tells the cab not to leave. He goes in and has sex, and then the cab's waiting out front. He doesn't stay the night. He says, oh no, I'm going, I got the cab going. So what did she do? I'll show you.
Well, the Linus has just brought up the 20-year-old Caitlin Cray pulled into a Sydney BP in November last year after she smashed her car. Bankstown man Kieran Basic offered to help with the damage, spending almost 2 hours working to get the car back on the road. Security vision shows him attending a vehicle. Cray then told police he allegedly propositioned her for sex in return for his help before he pursued her in the car and indecently assaulted her in a different location. He was charged with numerous offences, including indecent assault, and put behind bars after being refused bail. But Basic always complained he was innocent, and on May 6th the charges against him were thrown out of court after Cray admitted to making it all up. Like that
Did she pay for fixing the car though?
Basic lost his job and his marriage, and 7 News has learned now he plans to demand the police pay his legal bills and is suing his lying accuser for up to $1 million. That is horrendous. Like, I know, look, right,
especially in marriage too and stuff.
Yeah.
This is what's hard to understand too, when if you marry someone and you think you know that person pretty well, and for like, okay, it can be hurtful if you hear this, but it's like, until it all came out, I'd stand by the person I'm with, because I'd be like, okay, this bitch is lying or he's lying. I'm going to stand by you. Why would you?
But even then, like, the police are, like, in those situations, you get released on bail if it's a brown area, but I mean a grey area. But they've put him in jail. So if you're like, it's like, oh, this is like, you don't get, you know, if it's a bit up in the air, like, that's more or less saying that
you don't want to be in jail being a rapist.
Yeah, so that's and did they actually she got sentenced to 5 months.
Oh.
Non-parole and other means apparently.
Was that all she got for ruining a guy's life and marriage? Fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's an absolute terrible.
And sad, and the sad thing is though, because there are women out there who actually do get sexually assaulted and raped, but there's so many also out there that do make false claims, which is now, you start questioning it when someone could be really raped.
And did they actually do any? Did he actually do anything, or he
fixed the car?
Fixed the car on the I think he was following her to
make sure he got home. That's right.
Yeah.
because you have to bring a car
Just
back.
to make sure it made it.
Yeah, and so she wasn't sentenced.
Is it like a probation type
Yeah,
thing?
so Gray would be required to leave her mother report on a daily basis to a Narrow Lane police station and put up $2,000 surety.
Yeah, that's horrendous. Like
But yet
that,
his marriage is over. He lost his job and he just for being nice, helping somebody.
he spent a week in jail.
Lost his job, served divorce papers from his wife, and spent a week in Stillwater jail.
Shit, she was quick to divorce him, wasn't she?
Yeah, but then again, it's like, oh, they've put him in jail. Like, you don't get put into jail for, like, there's got to be some
but still,
hard evidence. And that's
But
what
wouldn't you be like, that's my husband, I know he wouldn't have done that. Wouldn't you fight for him for a little while? So I would just go, you arsehole. Imagine the poor guy thinking all I did was stop to help somebody out and help fix the car. Now I'm sitting in jail accused of rape. Unbelievable.
So he made up some thing. Was it like the version of accusation provided is because of a slight that was provided by Mr. Basic by way of sexual innuendo. She has taken offence to that, and by that reason she has made the false and misleading statement to police. Yeah. But anyway, look, it's just
But like I said, it's happened to so many. When Jared Hayne had the cab waiting, she didn't like that. I'm not staying. I got the cab waiting.
Yeah.
What? I'll show you. How many times has that happened where someone, as bad as it is, okay, someone's cheating on their wife, they sleep with someone, she thinks, aha, I'm going to be the girlfriend. He's like, no, you're just like a root. I'm going back to the missus. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll show you.